very toxic. So yeah, I was just like always grown up to focus on getting good grades and being like a great student because my parents wanted me to be like a smart engineer or whatever, but I just didn't really find any passion in it. So I streamed I streamed as a hobby during my full-time job at
Stream is now
Citibank, but then I
live.
got fired from Citibank for streaming at work, and then now I'm a streamer.
What did it feel like to get fired?
Um, I was like, I was like sobbing a lot because I've never really been fired before, and I take like it looks like a failure in my eyes, and I'm really oh my God, why is my voice shaking? Sorry. I take failure like pretty hard. Like I don't like failing. So then oh, can I have a second? Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
1 second.
Do we need to?
My
You can
my
take.
voice is so shaky. Oh my gosh.
Is it okay for your voice to be shaky?
Yeah, that's okay. It's just like I feel like it's hard to listen to. It's just so shaky. Excuse me. Okay, it's because like I'm like on the brink of tears. So let me I'll get it out. Yes, yes, Dr. K.
You don't need to get it out.
Mhm.
So
Oh, I'm getting it out so then my voice won't be as shaky.
but why does your voice not need to be shaky?
Oh, so then people have a better listening experience.
Emily, who are you here for today?
I just lived here.
Myself
No one talks
and
anyway.
a lot of people from my community are also here, so that's really cool.
Online.
And they were like, I was really excited to have the conversation with you because I've never done this before, and I don't know, it's like also my community was really excited too, so yeah.
Okay. I'm not here for your community. I'm not here for my community. I'm here for you. And you do this thing where you like you smile and you've got an amazing smile. You're like, thanks, Dr. K. And then it's like back to the tears, bro.
Yeah.
And so like if we're talking about burnout, like, oh my god, like you're so hard on yourself. And you know, if you don't articulate properly, like there's no grade, there's no like you know, I'll stutter for a while. Will that help you feel better?
No, it's okay. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm getting it all out.
1,
Okay.
brawl.
What happened in your mind over the last 60 seconds?
So I realized that my voice was shaking like maybe like 5 minutes ago, and I'm like, oh god, the tears are coming. And then I think just talking more about I don't know, like my past, and it's just nice to get it all out. I don't really like talk about this stuff a lot, so it's nice to be able to share it with you, and then it just like kind of like cathartic tears coming out. But,
Okay, so we're gonna say I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna say that was right underneath the surface. You didn't have to dig very far.
okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's kind of take a step back. I think that if you want to focus on burnout, I think this is going to be related, and we'll kind of map all this stuff out for you in the way that you magnetism love Columbia brain process, your analytical brain process. But I want to just like stop for a second and just ask you, like, I mean, do you know, like, so I noticed the pressure on you to, I can't have a shaky voice. Where does that, what's that like?
I feel like it's because
Okay,
it
I
sounds
just
nice, and
Ready?
I think my main issue is I care a lot about what other people think, and I think that's where a lot of the issues stem from, is that and there are huge people who think I would kind of just like
I
that,
just
and
told my
I
team
recognize
it's
that,
very good there.
so I just want to make sure that my voice sounds good.
How do you understand it being
Red
with
team
people?
win.
Where's
What
YouTube?
goes on? What do you think is happening there?
It's just like I'm really bad with conflict, so I try to avoid conflict at all costs, and I like to make sure that people are feeling comfortable, and I really like bringing smiles to people's faces, but yeah, and I just like being really energetic and happy. a lot.
I see that. It sounds like it's a lot of work.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's not too bad. Like, I feel like I've done it so much my entire life. It's just like who I am at this point. I'm like always really happy and energetic a lot.
That honestly makes me sad.
Really?
Yeah.
It's just like I realize that I think I'm really happy when I'm like not happy, but like really energetic when I'm around people. And then when I'm alone, I just kind of like lay there and marinate in my juices, like on the bed or whatever. But then when I'm like surrounded around people, I'm like always super excited, and I don't really know what that means.
How does it feel to not make people happy?
Oh, then I feel really bad. Yeah.
What does feeling bad look like or feel like to you? What is your experience of that?
If I make someone feel upset, I feel like disappointed in myself or something, or like maybe like I get a little concerned, and then usually it's not for too long though. I just kind of keep going. It depends on the situation, I suppose.
And when you're marinating in your own juices?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I love to sleep and like lay in bed and just read or like go on my phone or whatnot. Like that's like some nice personal time that I have.
So that's a good thing.
Myself. Yeah, I love to just lay there and relax.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you because the way that you described it was almost like as an opposite of like getting this extrovert energy. And so I almost was reading between the lines that that's like you marinate in like some negative space.
Oh no, it's good juice. Yeah.
Okay, good juices. Okay, so it's like a tasty marinade.
Yes, like a marinara sauce or something. Yeah.
Okay. And how do you understand this conflict avoidance?
Well, like whenever someone's mad at me, like I had a few experiences in college with like a roommate who was upset with me, and I would just get really scared and just avoid her. So that was kind of unhealthy. But I would just try to like not talk about it until they bring it up first.
Okay, is it okay if I share a couple thoughts? And that I'm a little bit honestly. See, okay, I'm gonna just think out loud.
Yes.
Okay, so I was about to say, I'm a little bit lost because when there's something right underneath the surface, I don't know if I should ask more about that because I'm hearing that you want to put on a good face here. Oh. And that you're trying.
You can ask that as deep questions as you'd like. So.
Okay. Good to know. And okay, let me ask you a question. Why? Why is it okay for me to ask deep questions?
No, the cuts in the video, it keeps cutting.
Why? It's
the
because
editing.
I want you to do whatever you want to do, and I don't want you to stop yourself from what you want to do. So, yeah. So that's like kind of going back to the people pleaser thing.
Good. I'm glad you pointed it out.
Yes.
So I'm going to finish my train of thought. And then we're going to, man, this is tricky. Okay. Because here's the thing. So I'm sitting here, right? And I'm like, okay, so here's this girl and it's really important for her to prove herself. Mm-hmm. She wants to be a bastion of joy and positivity. And so she's going to show up here with like safe things to talk about, ways to cope with stress. Everyone feels stress. That's relatable. Stress. You're allowed to feel stress. You're a streamer. We can talk about analytics and numbers. Okay? So it's like very safe. And I asked you about now the challenge is that if we really want to learn how to deal with burnout, you can't do it the way you're doing it now.
Stream setup has really become something
for other people. So you will be one of the most successful streamers on the planet if you keep doing what you're doing. And at this point, we've got a really interesting, hopefully we'll release a report recently, but we're collaborating with a company that analyzes streamer like performance and streamers who have gone through our creator coaching program, and their performance has objectively gone up quite a bit. The challenge, though, is that if you look at streamers who sacrifice everything of themselves, they become really successful. You're tuned into analytics, you know what people want, and you will give it to them no matter the cost to you because you've got 5 years. And in that window, unless you succeed, it's GG, right? So here you are. Now, here's the challenge that I face is that if you really want to understand burnout, you've got to understand this. It's not about pleasing other people out there because that's what's going to lead you to burnout. Like if we think about fundamentally what is burnout, it's people pleasing to the point of self-harm. That's what burnout is, in a nutshell. I'm going to do what makes this person happy at the cost of myself, and I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again, and I'm going to do it again until my tank is empty, and then I am unable to do it. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to feel bad about myself. I'm going to disappoint them anyway, and now I've sacrificed all this shit, and I end up disappointing them. And then I'm mad at myself. And then self-loathing comes in. Why can't I do better? And then I have to wake up tomorrow and I have to make content. I have to put on a fucking happy face, which you would do such a good job of. It's a compliment, but it makes me sad. Just seeing how much you turn it on. Like, you know. And so now I'm kind of stuck because I don't know if you really want to talk about this stuff or that's why I asked. I was like, wait, you ask as deep as question. And I'm like, hold on a second. You sure about that? Because when I actually asked a deep question, it seemed like it was hard for you. Mm-hmm. And you don't want to disappoint me. And you want to prove yourself as strong and willing to touch on anything. But if there's one thing that I would love it if you could walk away from, it's that you don't have to. That you get to say, you know what? You can be disappointed because I don't want to do that. And that actually is hard for me and I don't feel like doing it. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be proud of you. I'm going to be happy that you're learning how to set boundaries and that you're putting yourself first. Not even first, maybe not last.
Thank you.
So now we're going to sit here. We're just going to be teary for a second.
Yeah.
You look panicked.
Oh, no, I'm trying to find my my tissues.
Okay. I don't have any either. Oh, that looks like a not very good tissue.
Yeah, I ran out of tissues because I blow my nose on stream a lot. But I have this. That's cool. It's interesting when you said, like, that you can see me turn it on a lot. Can you explain what that means?
Yeah. So like, what would you call it? The pullback PC?
PC pullback.
Yeah. Right. So you do this thing where like you're crying, and then you smile, and it's such a beautiful smile, and it's so genuine, right? And like, if you're not really paying attention, it seems great, but it's like, wait, where'd the crying girl go? For like
what's that move
my
supposed
wife
to be?
said, teach her how to send her order back in restaurants if she's not happy with it. And I said, you're not ready for that.
Yeah, I'm not ready for that.
So that's an exercise that I give people who like need to learn how to, like set boundaries and avoid conflict.
Whoa.
I want to increase the volume, but it's like
It works
locked.
really well, but it's really hard for
I think I have
I
an
don't think you're
extension
there
for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it.
Anyway, so I'm sorry, what you were asking about the turning it on? Yeah, so I just, and it's like, and what I see in that moment is like this is going to be a strong word, but
It's it does that stupid
integration
thing.
of who you are.
Can't make it full screen. I hate extensions.
If you want to like not burn out, you can't keep separating
What is he doing
and like
here?
sacrificing one piece for like to make
he's-
everybody else happy. And even on some
he's
level that makes
cooking
you happy
something.
too. So it's not just other people, right?
I think this kind of also ties back to a issue that I have is like a lot of people, not a lot of people, but like people on the internet, like I read all the comments on like LSF and everything, and they all like, a lot of people call me fake, and which I really dislike, but now I'm like, I don't even know anymore. Like I can't really, like, is that like a symptom of fakeness? Would you say? Like kind of putting on
What
the
would
smile?
it mean to you if you were fake?
Then I would be like, I'm not fake because that's just who I am, and then I would just like
That extension is stupid.
go into defensive mode.
Do you feel? How do you feel about being fake?
I don't like it because I would like to think of that I'm genuine myself, but like I don't know.
So here's my take on it. I don't think you're fake. I think it's disintegration. So I think that you take the authentic, you can't fake it this far, right? You just can't. Like, I think, even when it goes back to the dumpling, watching you eat dumplings, like, you can't, your curiosity, your passion, your genuine, like, love of life, I think
Wait, what?
comes
I'm
through.
fucking god.
But I don't think it's the whole you. And I think what some people may be picking up on
Sure.
is this back and forth. Does that?
Yeah, that can make sense. like, I don't know, like the whole fake discussion is like really confusing to me because I'm always like, oh, but like I'm just acting how I would act. So then, but they're like, oh, she's like way too happy, or like there's no way that she can always be so happy, and I'm like, oh, I just feel like I am. I don't know. It's like, and then if when you said like, oh, you can see me like turn it on, I'm like, oh, then maybe it's just like how I am to just be like always happy, but that's like the disintegration part where I do want to be sad, but I feel like I pressure on myself to always be happy.
And so what does it mean to not be happy? Or is it okay to not be happy?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Like, I think the issue is like when I'm on stream when I'm on stream, it's important to me that I want to always seem really happy and bubbly and positive, because when I'm not on stream, I'm not always happy, bubbly, and positive. I'm like stressed a lot from the burnout feeling, right? So it's like it is very like two different dichotomies of what I deal with every day. It's just like I enjoy being really happy on stream because that's like my happy place, and like I love doing IRL stuff. And then when I'm not on stream, it's just like, oh, stress. Oh, what do I do next? Oh, stuff like that. So I don't know if I answered your question.
Is it okay if you didn't?
It is okay.
Damn.
Do you really feel that? Or are you just saying that because that's the right answer?
I feel that. Yeah. It's okay if I don't answer it properly.
Because we'll peel back the layers of the onion until we find the right answer. I mean, the authentic answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm not gonna let you slide.
Good. That's great.
Okay. Yeah. So I mean, Emily, here's what I'm kind of hearing, and I don't know exactly where to go with this, but here's what I'm seeing one theme emerge, which is I'm gonna call it the theme of disintegration, and I don't mean like disintegrate like, the spell that makes things disappear. I mean literally the splitting up of the self.
Okay.
Yeah. And so I kind of mentioned this early on when I sort of said like, oh, it seems like you kind of hold both sides. And then we sort of talk a little bit about like being happy on stream and then sad. And I think it makes a lot of sense to me that people can look at you and think, how can she be so happy? But I think it's like if you genuinely enjoy streaming and what you do in your life is you take all of your negativity and you push it to the side and you let that authentic positivity come out. I think that's probably part of the reason that you've grown and you're successful and stuff like that. Because I think people who fake being happy, like we usually can pick up on it. But I think some people may be able to detect that that you're taking a neutron and you're splitting it into a proton and an electron, and we're only getting the proton.
Ooh, okay, yeah.
Right. And I think we see this in a microscopic way too, even in terms of your like facial expressions. And it's like, it's like flipping a card over. It's like on the back, it looks one way, and then, it's like, oh, magic trick. And it's like, oh, like now it's like the ace of spades. And then it's like, boom. And now it's like, oh, look, it's the back of the card. And now it's a different, And so I think we see that. And I don't, and here's the important thing to understand is that I don't necessarily think you should stop doing that. That's for you to decide. But I think it's really important to understand that all human beings will separate things out. Like that's just how we cope with life. Yeah. We can't feel everything all the time. But it's probably going to be healthy for you is my guess, and from a burnout perspective, because when I help people with burnout, it's usually that the patterns that they engage in are driven by that separation. Because if you're fully integrated with yourself, you would not engage in those behaviors in the same way.
Just go up.
And then the real consequence of that is people don't want to integrate.
Didn't see that.
Because they want to engage in those behaviors. Because if you let the negativity in, what would happen, Emily?
Then I'm negative on stream, and then that would be bad.
What would be bad about it?
I feel like as a streamer, one of my main goals is to make people laugh and stuff. And like, if I'm negative, I don't want it to show through. I'll say
it's
show
so
through.
wrong, dude.
And then I don't know. It's just like.
Bing bong bong.
I want to make people happy. Okay. And if I'm negative, I feel like I can't make people happy.
So I detect maybe I don't detect. I'm hypothesizing, so that's a little bit unfair. That there is a piece that's a PC answer. Is there more to it?
What's the question again?
what's the consequence? What's the problem
stuck,
of
yeah.
not being
Yeah, he's stuck. Just
bubbly on
make him
stream?
one.
What if you were negative on stream? What would happen? What are you afraid of?
Well, I guess I have. Like, is it negative all the time? Because I definitely have been negative, but I just kind of like brush it off, or I just say like, "Oh fuck," or like some expletive words, and then I just like move on.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
fair, but what I'm sort of wondering about is you try not to be negative, right? You try to be positive.
Yeah. Don't show your banana thingy.
Oh, he's eating it.
I'm tired.
He ate my apples. Okay, and it's still pissed. Why?
I kind of want the.
Let's see. Well, like if I don't know. Like if I feel in a negative way, I express it.
Okay.
Yeah. So like if I'm like annoyed by something, like I express that, or I guess I don't really express it because I just fall silent whenever I'm annoyed. I'm just like or like when I'm tired or something.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not, but I'm like happy a lot on stream.
Yeah.
What if
Because
I
it's
do this?
fun to stream. So
Yeah.
But if something does happen negatively, then I don't like try to push it down. I just kind of like
I
mention
can
it
almost
and
read
move on.
text.
I understand. So let me
Which is
see if
really
I
good.
kind of get this. So like
Yeah.
you're able
Yo,
to
fuck you.
authentically own
Yo, fuck you.
negativity
authentically
as
Yo,
random
fuck you.
events during stream,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah.
So I
Beep,
think
beep.
that makes a lot of sense. What I'm talking about is like the part of you that's off stream and is terrified of
Oh.
analytics and stuff like that. Like if
Yeah.
that part infected the
Also,
stream,
why is the
what
camera
would happen?
squished?
I just feel like it wouldn't
Oh.
be enjoyable
Wait, that's
to
interesting.
watch or listen to.
The
if I'm
preview
always, like,
in my OBS is different from the actual
or
stream. Like the
stressed.
stream is
I'm
stretched,
like,
isn't it?
oh, chat, I don't know what to
It
do
is
tomorrow.
stretched.
Oh, and then I just feel like it's something that I should figure out on my own instead of publicizing it to
That's
the chat.
why.
Okay, and what is the consequence?
I am 19 by
not
10 aspect
being
ratio,
what
but
chat
the output
wants?
is 19 by something.
That's interesting. So if I were to bring that negative the negative mindset into like my normal stream,
How do I
the
do it?
consequence would be like I guess it would. I don't know, cause I've never done it. I'm thinking like
Don't
maybe
you-
I would lose viewers, but I don't know
I can't do it while
if I
live.
actually would.
So now you're actually
Maintenance
thinking about
ratio.
it, but